This is my green. I have green underwear, green shorts if you want. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Today we're talking about mortgage rates and why it's not going down further than what we thought it would. I never thought it would go anywhere. I thought maybe we would go just a tad bit lower, but right now we're hovering over 6% unquoted, right? And why is that? Here's the thing. We have to balance the market. We have to keep the market balanced because we don't want to make it unfair for buyers and super fair for sellers as it has been for the last 20, 30 years. So right now we're actually pretty balanced out. And if the mortgage rates went down, that means sellers could take advantage of that because more buyers would enter the market, meaning there's more competition, meaning prices would artificially go higher. So right now we want our prices to normalize. Don't forget, the last 5 years, we saw prices go incredibly high, right? We as owners have seen that and enjoyed it. And last year we peaked and plateaued and it went down a little bit, which is okay in most areas. But what we're saying right now, what the market is saying is we don't want to have a bull rush. Of course, agents and loan officers want to sell multiple loans and multiple houses. Of course but we don't want to do it where it's easy pickings and shooting fish out of a barrel and telling you have to go up $400,000 over list price. We just don't, because it's unfair to buyers. So because it's normalizing around 6%, it doesn't mean you can't get a loan for 5 or 5.5. It's pretty normal, right? Right now we're seeing the regular 30 years at 6% and 15-year is 5.5. We don't really talk about 15s because I don't think it's all that great of a deal. Your monthly goes up. If you're going to do that, you got to do it from a 30-year perspective and make yourself disciplined because sometimes you might have a bad month or a couple. Yeah. So 30-year fixed mortgage returned to 6.11, which is the inch up a little bit. But again, you can buy the points down. I talk about that every Thursday. Buy the points down. You're in it for 12 to 20 years anyway, so you might as well enjoy low rates and the comfort of that. So buy it. Why is that important for us to understand? Because if you're a buyer and you're waiting for the rates to go down further, probably not going to happen. If you're a seller waiting for the mortgage rates to go down because you want to take advantage of the market and heat it up and get it into it's not going to happen. It probably won't happen. Not unless we go into massive economic meltdown and we have to lower rates again to help save the economy, to get people to start buying everything. But during the last 5 years, we saw prices go crazy high and we need to normalize it. If you look at the straight line, I talked about this 3 times last week. If you see the price of housing shot up and the affordability is still kind of going up slowly, and it's going to take a while for us to get to parity. And that's why we're seeing such a divestiture of massive amounts of buyers coming out right now, because 6% is normalized, right? That said, houses that sell typically are one of a couple different things, right? They're completely turnkey or model home level, or they need a little bit of work and they're just lived in, or they're complete rundown, non-maintained, lipstick on a pig, icing on a cake type houses. And those typically don't sell very well, right? Because people can see through that. When you put a lack of effort and energy into what you're selling, you're not going to get the results you want. Set it out there. Probate sales, if you're taking over for your family or your adults, your parents, and they're going into an adult community or a care facility of any kind, let me know because I can help walk you through that entire process. That's what this whole page is for. We'll get you started from a pre-inspection checklist, or just send me an email or a text and I'm happy to help you out. All right. Okay. This house right here. This is the highest priced house that sold in the last 7 days in Santa Clara County for $10 million. Let's go into it. It almost took a year to sell and it started off at $14 million. It's also the lowest list price to sales price ratio, 73.4%. Why? Seller ego. Why does a house not sell? Seller ego. $14 million. It's either that or the agent said, yeah, sure, we can try for a little bit, but I don't know because your house isn't in all that great shape. But in the mindset of the seller, they said, oh, you have to sell it because of the acreage and it has such a great view. People aren't going to spend $5 million extra on a view. They might spend maybe $1 million, but you go into it and you take a look at this house and it's run down. It's not maintained. It's okay, right? There's nothing great about it. And yeah, you get the land, but then you also have to pay the fair plan, everything. I don't have a problem with this house at all, but listing it and waiting a whole year for it to come back down. And you're like, okay, let's see what the market says. Instead of, let's do this one right here. Inglewood Drive in San Jose, not my listing. They started off at $1.9 million and it sold for 2.7. Why? In 10 days. Why? Because they knew how to attract the market. You know, we talk about this all the time. Above market value, it's going to sit because you're only attracting 5% of the market, not luxury. Talking about standard stick homes, right? If you're at market value, you're attracting 25% of the value market. You're attracting only 25% of the eyeballs that are out there. You want as many eyeballs on the listing as possible. Right? 5% below market, you're getting 50%. So 10 to 20. Yeah. If your house is worth 1.5, listed at 1.3, 1.35, what do you got to lose? You're going to get more eyeballs on it and you're going to get in contract a whole lot faster. This one right here on Inglewood Drive, they didn't mess around. They probably gave away 100 flyers. The open houses must have been crazy busy, right? We don't even have to look at the condition of the house. And this is the lowest sales price of the week for Santa Clara County. It's in Morgan Hill. And yeah, it's a 55 and over. It's a 2-bedroom, 1.5 bath, 1,100 square feet. And it took 56 days to sell. I want to say it's attached. Yeah, it's attached. So it's like a duplex, but there's 2 APNs on it. Yep, there you go. 55 and overs don't sell the same way. You still have to kind of moderate the price a little bit. But look, it took 60 days to sell because you were $10,000, $15,000 over list price. You're not serving yourself when you set a high sales price. 20 Nicholson Avenue in Los Gatos. This is Los Gatos House of the Week. $2.4 million for a 3,300 square foot lot. And here's the only saving grace. I want to see how long this will take to sell. Saving grace is you can actually walk down to any street on Main Street, which is Santa Cruz Ave, and then get sloshed and stumble home, and you're safe. You always have to deal with parking though, which kind of sucks, but it is what it is. You know, Los Gatos does have ample parking, but on busy nights, you're going to get people parking on the streets there. Not that they're allowed to, they just do. Okay. And this one has been renovated, still small, for $2.5 million. Not my style, not my thing, not my gig. All right. And then because it's St. Patrick's Day, I made everything green for you. Bit of the Blarney Stone. There's all the numbers that we just went through. We do have 1,100 active single family homes in Santa Clara County. We need to be at about 2,000, and we've seen 171 price reductions. What does that mean, price reductions? That means that we're seeing people kind of overprice their houses. So do yourself a favor. We just went through this, right? If you overprice your house, it's going to take forever to sell. If you underprice the house, buyers will come in droves and bid it up to the value of where it should be. That's just it, right? Look, there's nothing special about this house.